Hi there, Machedo. Speaking to you from Machedo.com. Who's Machedo and Think Personal Branding? The date is 7th August 2018. Time right now is 4:03 in the afternoon. Today, I thought I would just discuss with you as the 4 most important interview questions which can guarantee whether you get the job or you not get the job, especially for people in the Middle East. Okay, this example can be used world over, but because my audience is predominantly from the Middle East, I'm saying it from the Middle East. But if you focus on these 5 questions, you can get a job anywhere, anytime. I can assure you this much. So what are the 4 questions? The 5. Why am I saying 4? The 5 questions. The 5 questions which will guarantee that you will get a job any place, anytime, anywhere, in any job is, number 1, tell me something about yourself. Give me your strengths, give me your weaknesses. Why should I hire you when there are people better than you? And finally, do you have any questions? Now, you must be saying to yourself, oh, Loy, I know the answers to this. Here's my challenge to you. If you know the answers to these questions and it's perfect, you're absolutely sure that your answers are perfect, why aren't you being offered a job? Why? Because keep this in mind. When you go for an interview, the guy doesn't know you. The guy doesn't know your past, your present. He knows only what you're telling him. And he'll believe and buy every word you say. So, if you're so good at the interview, why didn't you get the job? The reason being is somebody else was able to do a better job than you. They had better rapport. They had better convincing skills, negotiation skills, networking skills, and likability factor. Remember, these 5 are very important. So, how do you know if the answers to your 5 questions are perfect? How do you know? Try this. When you prepare and plan these 5 answers to these 5 questions, okay, do these following strategies. It'll really help you. Take a pen and paper. I suggest that you write it down. Number 1. First, what you do is take a video, put a video camera in front of you, like how this camera is there, and have a mock session. Tell me something about yourself. The normal way which people do is, I was born in this place, I finished my schooling here, I did my college here, my first job, second job, third job. Then personally, this is what I am, my wife, my children, and these are my interests. So people cover these 8 points. This is what amateurs do, which normally I suggest for, like amateurs. By amateurs, I don't mean to degrade you, but for people who do not have the capacity to really sell themselves, I tell them follow this format. Okay. Now the question is, oh, Lloyd, then what do professionals do? Professionals, they highlight and they say the point that sells. The minute you say it, they will be like, wow, tell me more. I want to know you. So that is the format I follow, at least after years and years of doing this. So now, tell me something about yourself. You follow this basic strategy. Where you're born, where did you do schooling, your college, your first job, second job, third job, family life, something extra, and your hobbies. Okay, you just cover these points. After you made this video, write it down word for word. Okay, write it down word for word. That means if you spoke for 7 minutes, roughly it's 750 to 850 words. Okay, in my case, it goes to 1,000. Write down word for word everything that you wrote. Read it. And then start word editing. That is, take every sentence and keep it as a separate sentence. And then break it down and study each and every word and phrase and sentence. Do you need to change this? Should this be there? Should this not be there? Does this add any value? Does this not add any value? What should you add something extra? What can you add that is a wow factor there? What is your accomplishment that you forgot to mention in your school days, in your college days, in your first job, in your second job? Maybe something that your boss said, maybe some interesting story that took place, maybe something that shows leadership example. So then you start adding these details and it grows bigger and bigger. After that, once it becomes twice to thrice the size. Once you take that, then you take out the key ingredients from all that script that you've written down. Normally, when I sit down and work with my clients, from 700 words, it balloons up to 3,000 words. Once it goes to 3,000 words, we cherry pick, take out the best sentences from the whole lot. And we prepare, if you could speak for 750 words in 7 minutes, we make sure that it is a compact, let's say 300 words. And I prepare three formats. One is where you speak within 1 minute, within 3 minutes, within 5 minutes, and within 7 minutes. Sorry, four formats. So you keep it that way. And if in case the guy says, I'm very busy, I don't have time, we even prepare a one-liner of 30 seconds. So to break it down, after you have spoken, tell me something about yourself following the simple pattern, like where you're born, your school, college, first job, second job, third job, something about yourself, personally speaking, and your interests. We add these extras, which I told you, which really add value and make it a wow. After that, when you've expanded, made it so big, you take the best of the best, and that is where you have a 30-second script, you have a 1-minute script, 3-minute script, 5-minute script, 7-minute script, and you also have a 15-minute script. I know this sounds like a lot of work, but it is important because when you'll be talking about yourself, when you'll be selling yourself, when you'll be marketing yourself, okay, people need to remember you. And we do this all the time, whether you go for a date, whether you're networking someone at a party, whether you met someone just, at a bus station, we are constantly talking about ourselves. What do you do? So if you just say, I'm working in a bank, that's boring, man. But if you were to say something that shocks the person or makes a person think, why do you think I tell people, I'm a personal branding strategist? They'll go like, what? What's a personal? Sometimes I say personal branding strategist. Sometimes I tell whatever salary you're earning, I double the salary. Sometimes I tell people, you're going to be shocked if I tell you what I do. So I have these key phrases, one line, if the person's really busy, to make them want to ask me more. Because the point is, they should say, tell me more. Wow, that's interesting. That's intriguing. That's different. That's controversial. I never heard that. So they should want to know more. And if they are curious about you, you have sold yourself. So I have a 30-second script, 1-minute script, 3-minute script, 5-minute script, 7 minutes, and 15-minute script for this one answer. Tell me something about yourself. Then the next one comes strength. Normally when people ask about your strength, they say, I'm hardworking, I'm focused, result-oriented, driven, blah, 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 blah. And the interviewer goes, here's the thing. How about being a little creative and different? That doesn't mean you say, tell me about your strength. Oh, you'll be shocked if I tell you my strength. My strength is to drive people mad. Please don't do that. Okay. So there's no one answer or one size that fits all when you're talking about your strengths. However, there is something that is totally ingrained or part of your personality. For example, me, when people ask, tell me your strengths, or they tell me, what stands out about you or whatever, I tell them, I'm a disruptor. I break rules. I make sure people will leave the company, and I drive the management crazy. I tell them this, and I might add something more and say that, I will resign within a month or 6 months or whatever. So the guy says, what? Wait a minute. I asked you about your strengths. You are giving me stuff that will make me not want to hire you. And then after I've told them this, I'm a disruptor, I break rules, I justify what I've said by giving a creative answer, and that makes them, bloody hell, you are smart. I'm not joking. I have done this. Because you need to be intelligent enough to make them think that, wow, this guy really knows how to twist my brains, make me think. He's a thought provoker. Okay? So when you're talking about your strengths, please be original, be authentic, be unique, make yourself stand out. Don't go that route. I'm hardworking, I achieve my target, I work hard till I faint in the office. Don't do that. It just doesn't work. Okay. Then when you're talking about weaknesses, this one's dicey when you're talking about weaknesses, because the problem with weaknesses is you obviously can't tell the truth. You can't say that I get bored with my work. I waste time on Facebook. I'm addicted to women. I am a smoker. I gossip. I was kicked out of my company. You can't tell your weakness. But here's the thing that will shock you. People can see through it. Whether you like it or not, people can identify your weakness. For example, if I ask you about your colleague, I'm pretty sure you would be able to highlight his weaknesses, even though he doesn't highlight. People identify someone who's a gossiper. People identify someone who's a bullshitter. People identify someone who tells lies. It's very easy to identify. Like for example, one of a person that I know, she was my ex-client. Now she's trying to position herself as a personal branding strategist. I've shown a video to my friends who are very intelligent, very smart, and they have all said one simple thing. She's faking it. She has emotional problems. She's mentally insecure. And it's pretty odd because my mentors are not in touch with each other. They are different from different people. They are different people from different parts of the world, but they've said the same thing. And they said the same thing what I was thinking. So what I'm trying to tell you is people can see through you. So that is why you need to identify your weakness. Now, for example, me, when people ask me what is my weakness, my personality, I tell them straight off, I'm extremely restless, okay, which I am, and you can make out. I'm very talkative, which you can make out. I gossip, which you can make out. Now, I'm pretty sure you'd say, Loy, but if you say such weaknesses, nobody's going to give you a job. Here's the thing. People will be able to see through your weakness. And it's better that you tell the truth and not be employed than be employed and then get kicked out. Okay? So, obviously, when I was searching for jobs, I would not tell them that I'm a gossip monger and, let's say I love women, or, I'm addicted to gaming, I get bored easily. No, I would say it depends on the situation, depends on your, your chemistry, your connection, your rapport with that other person. And that is where you need to have a menu, a selection of, okay, how many do I say? 3, 5, 7, 1, 2. And you say what is actually required for you to drive home the point that you are being genuine. Okay? And remember, there are some things which you just can't hide. So it's better for you to be honest about it. And I would say the one question that almost nobody gets right, nobody, not a single person, is, why should I hire you? Why should I hire you? Even though there are people better than you, even though there are people smarter than you, with more experience, better expertise, better recommendation, everything better than you. And they are even asking a lesser pay. Why should I give you the job? This one question, if you can formulate and you can answer it with your wit, with your intelligence, with your ability to convince, I can assure you that you will get a job every single time, every single place, every single position that you apply for. 99.99999%, they don't know the answer to this. I know the answer because it has taken me years and years to formulate and create the answer. And there is no one size fits all. Once again, it depends from person to person. Like, for example, where I'm concerned, I tell them I'm not the best. Definitely not the best, because the best, you cannot afford the best. The best in the world is someone from Harvard Business School who has a PhD, who has a track record of earning billions or millions, and he would never work for this job because nobody can afford it. So that is the best in the industry in terms of personal branding. Okay? That is, I'm just telling hypothetically. However, me, why should a company employ me? I would state 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5 reasons. And remember this, that the answer is not standard for all. It depends on the company. If I was going to Oracle to give a presentation and they would say, why should we select you as a presenter and nobody else? I would see what is the value system of the company. Who is the person that I'm meeting? Is it a European? Is it a Filipino? Is it an Arab? I would see their corporate culture. I would network with some people within and find out, are they broad-minded? Are they open? Are they crazy? Are they casual? Are they formal? So based on all this, I would formulate an answer. And the answer to this question is something that is very important. Why? Because they themselves need to convince themselves, why should we take him and not this other person? So it's more like they're telling you, please, you convince me. And last but not the least this is the least prepared question. When they say, do you have anything you'd like to ask me? Or they say, anything else? Would you like to ask us anything else? The majority, 100%, they always say, what about the company goals? What is the future? People bore them to death with some vague, boring stuff, where I strongly feel and I strongly know that that is where the icing on the cake takes place. When you ask, when you have the last final question, they say, do you have anything you'd like to ask us? I would say this is where you drive home the point. This is where you cement the fact that I am the guy you should be employing, or the girl you should be taking for the job. And once again, based on the individual's personality, I design a question. But if you ask me, if it was a person like me, I would, when they would say, do you have any questions? I would ask for the job. That's me. That's my personality. I would ask for the job and tell them, I want this job because of XYZ. And I want you to know that before you do finalize on the final candidate, I want that opportunity. That's me. I don't know about you, but this is me. And, I always do my homework. I never go to an interview without having done my homework, without having done research, without having some person who works in the company who can prove and give me, secret information about the company. I never approach a company otherwise, unless I'm 100% prepared. So if you prepare the answers to these five questions, but in the breakdown of 30 seconds, 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, and 15 minutes for each of these questions, I can tell you without a doubt, you'll get a job anywhere. But now here's one more thing. What if people don't ask you these questions? I'm pretty sure there are a lot of technical questions, a lot of interviews where they don't say, tell me something about yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses. There are a lot of interviews where they don't ask you this. Then what is the use of preparing for this? This is where you're mistaken. Every question the interview asks, every question, it can be technical, it can be, just a talk, it can be just a cup of coffee, you're sitting and talking. That interviewer is screaming the question, man, make my job easier. Tell me, if you're the candidate, I'll give you the job. So if you know the answer to all these five questions, if he asks you a technical question, if he says, give me an example of leadership where you failed, where you're not able to succeed, you will be able to add these bits, these smart tidbits in different parts. And I can assure you this much. You will. This is not even me. You will get the job, because the person who can really hustle, who can really talk, who can really market, who knows himself, whom someone can look in the eye and say, this guy knows. He made the hairs on the back of my head stand up. That guy gets the job. So these are the five most important, powerful questions that if you memorize word for word, complete the editing, make it perfect, refine it, sit down with your mentor, practice it, and master the delivery, I can assure you this much, you'll get a job anywhere in the world with anyone. I'm able to get customers and clients who, if they speak to me once, they pay me for my service. That is proof enough that my technique works. So, I'm pretty sure you'll have questions. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section below, or get in touch with me via WhatsApp or email. If you put your comments, I would love to read them and respond to them. Like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't like it, thumbs down. And remember, for my services, go to thinkpersonalbranding.com. I wish you all the best. This is me signing off for now. Take care. Bye.